Hi and welcome to another video in the RHCE video series. Today's video is on create and distribute SSH keys on managed nodes. So what we're looking to do basically is essentially get it managing clients. We have kind of done this before, but I'm going to show you a bit more of a slightly more automated way. There's even better ways than this, but this is still a more simplistic way. But it just shows you how to do it. But there's ways to do use Ginger 2 to actually pull out stuff from directories, so we can have all the authorized keys automatically be added as required. However, we're going to do just a bit of a manual job today to show you how to do that. Okay, so let's just sudo make my life easy. Okay, so probably I don't need sudo for this first thing. So the first thing I want to do is let's do a SSH-keygen for this user. So I want to save it to there. So that's the default location to save your, basically it's an RSA key to do SSH. You want to enter a passphrase ideally. In production especially, you want to have some kind of password to protect your key. Otherwise, if your key did ever get compromised, then people can use it to log in pretty much anywhere. So best avoid that if you can. Just click enter, put the same password phrase in again, and click enter again. And you can see it's generated a fingerprint, and you've got some kind of weird, it's a random art image. So you can see it's kind of, each time that you should do that, you should get a different image basically. If you get the same image, you've got something else going wrong there. Okay, so we've generated a key. So let's go back as root now. Let me just do a clear screen. So what we're going to do first is let's go and create the Ansible file to actually go and do the key distribution. So let me just, I think I did create I created a folder at least earlier. Let's just have a look what's in here. And I think I just copied a old inventory file. Yeah, so I've got all these different clients in my inventory, but the only one that's really valid is this client 1. Because I've got just a testbed environment, I don't have actually that many machines in this environment. Okay, so at least we can target one machine in that list. Okay, so let's create a new file. Let's call it user. So I'm going to create a new user, create SSH deploy, key deploy, and key deploy. It's not the best name, but yeah, it's a name. And it's a pretty wordy one as well, but never mind, doesn't really matter. Okay, so first thing, triple dash, then we've got a dash space, and then which hosts you want to target. So again, as previous videos, we can target particular groups and whatnot, but this is not the top focus of this, so I'm just going to go for all of it. Hyphen space name. This is where I'm going to create the user. So I'm going to actually create a brand new user. So create a new user, user 1 in this case. We're then going to give the username. Let's go. Sorry, the name of that task is called is name, but then I have to go user, and then I have to give the name. So that's name is user 1, and password. Oh, I haven't generated a password yet, have I? Okay, yep. I'll have to just go and do that. So I'll just leave that blank for now. Let's put pass. Here, this won't work until I've done this correctly. And state present. So that means add the user. So if we do, so we can use that state field to obviously remove it as well if we wanted to. Okay, so next one we're going to do, whoops, state present. And next one we're going to do is do a name again, and we're going to do deploy SSH key, and then we're going to do, yep, so it's Ansible dot POSIX authorized, the American spelling, authorized key. I think I got it right. Ansible dot POSIX dot authorized underscore key. Yeah, I think that's right. And now we say which user. Obviously, we need to target a user to put the key onto that user. We then also need a state. Again, we want to add it or remove it. Present. And then we need to say where it can get the key from. So originally you have to give the key itself, so the actual string. I can show you what that looks like, but nowadays we can just look it up. So we can do a bit of magic here to say look up and then file and then the location. So home, oh god, I think this will be C England dot SSH slash ID underscore RSA dot pub. I think I will check that in a minute and make sure that's correct. I'll remove the quotes, close that bracket. We'll do a double quote, double curly brace to close that one, and we'll then do the final quote. So that should be pretty much there. I sort out the password and just double check that location. So let's go to that location first. If we just do a right click and copy, we'll just right click on this for now. I'll just do a cat and just make sure there's something there. So yeah, this is what the actual key is. So this is just saying it's SSH RSA. We then have this string, and then this final bit here is basically saying this is the user that's authorized to use it, basically. It's a bit of a naming thing. Okay, so what we can do now is we have to generate that password. So creating the password is can be a bit of a pain. There is a single Ansible command you can use to do this. I pretty much always end up looking this up, but yeah, never mind. Let's give it a go. So Ansible all minus I, and we can target a local host. We now then need an -m and debug. So we're going to call debug, and then a -a for the argument, and then double quote msg equals, and then we do two curly brackets, and to open it, double quote, single quote, your password. So let's just set it to something amazing like password. And then we're going to pipe that into password -hash, and then we have open brackets SHA 512 SHA 512, and then we have a sort. So sort is like a random phrase that it uses over the top of the hash to for it to actually encrypt the password with something. So we get it to let's set our sort to pepper to be funny. It's probably not a very good one, but yeah, it's one for now. And close it. Why isn't it like my 512? So I'm getting an unexpected token here. Okay, so if we, so we run that again. Okay, so I can see one issue here. That should be underscore hash, I believe. So we're still getting an issue. Let's check the quotes. That's normally an issue. So got 1, 2, so we've got that. 1, 2. Okay, we've got too many here, so I think I've got... Oh, yes. Is that correct now? Yep. So I've got a message of nothing much. Okay. Oh, I got specials, an extra space there as well. Yeah, didn't do very well here. Let's see. Okay, so now I've got an encrypted password. So, there we go. So a bit of troubleshooting in there as well. So Ansible all, and then we're gonna basically run it against all hosts, and then we're gonna have it specified the local host as the inventory basically. We're gonna run a debug command, which then has the argument for which is a message, which basically is printing out message. In this case, we're going to get my password, which is literally password. We're then going to pipe it into password underscore hash with a SHA-512 hashing algorithm, which then produces this. Basically, this is the hashing algorithm, but it's also got a salt, which salt is like a an encryption to the password. It's like a random value, basically, almost, and you can use that to add that. Basically adds this to this, and then SHA-512s it, and it's got obviously a more secure password in that way. Okay, so I've set that now, so we can go back. If I copy this very short string and pop that into, what do I call it now? It was called user create. Okay. Okay, so now I can put the password in there. Right, something looks okay. I think we're pretty much ready to go. Let's give this a whirl, shall we? So Ansible hyphen playbook -I inventory. So run it against that entire inventory, and it was user create and key deploy .yaml. Okay, let's see. Okay, so far so good. My YAMLs are not totally messed up. We've got gather facts. We've got a permission denied, so we cannot lock etc. PAS. Okay, so it looks like my user that's executing these commands is not having the relevant permissions. Oh, okay, yep. Because it's running as the least privileged user, I need to make it become an admin if it hasn't already. So let me insert a new line here and just do a become true. Okay, so it will try and become an administrator or the root user, and then when I run it, I need to just say ask become pass, and it should be this password, I hope. Yep, that's done it. So now we've got success. Well, we've got a change for each of those. If we just do it again, we'll put the password in again. So we're just getting OK. So obviously it's created the user already, and we can already see that the SSH key is already deployed. So that means we should be able to, from this, my standard user, we should be able to then SSH directly to that server now as user 1. So let's just give that a go. So if I exit out of my current user, I'm back into my standard user. We do an SSH user 1 at was it 10.02.8. Straight in. Easy as that. No passwords, no nothing, and Ansible has done all of it for us. Yeah, that pretty much is all we want to do. So just to go through it one more time, and just to run through it one last time. So the fixes we applied, well, the major one was oh, it's not there, is it? Of course. Okay, got quit twice. Yep. Okay, so was it SSH key distro? Yep. Okay, so we have this user create and deploy.yaml. So we've got an extra become to true, and we're asking to become password as part of this, so it become a privileged user. So that was the issue we had. We created the password using that Ansible string we did earlier. I'll go and show you that again. We're making the state present, so we want to add the user. We're then also deploying the SSH key, and that's the SSH key I created earlier with the SSH-keygen for my local user on this machine, to then deploy that SSH key. So I've just said I want the state to be present. I want the username to be user1 that has that written to their IID, to their trusted or the authorized keys directory. Basically, it's basically in the directory in the user's home directory .ssh, which is basically a hidden directory, and then there's an authorized with the American spelling _keys directory in there. Actually, one extra thing to note is you may not have this particular module installed. While I remember, you can go and get that if it's required. That is actually just Ansible-Galaxy, which is basically it's like a repository of all these different Ansible packages, and you can just do a collection install, and it's Ansible.POSIX. It's going to think about it, and it'll eventually do what it needs to do to install it. Yep, in my case it's already installed, hence why it works straight away. But yeah, if you don't have it already installed, that's just the one thing to note, is the Ansible-Galaxy stuff to do the install. And obviously the name kind of explains itself when you look at it, because it's Ansible.POSIX .authorized key. So you know you need to potentially go get this particular package to deploy it. Yeah, so the last thing I'll just go through one more time is just the creation of the password. Okay, so basically, again, we're essentially just running Ansible all against the local host. We're running a debug command. We're getting the message, which then we're requesting a message. So basically, all we're doing is trying to get this string out, and it's setting a password, which is in this case password. We're using the password hashing algorithm, or just a general hashing algorithm of SHA-512, which is pretty good. And we're using a salt to encrypt that password, and then it creates this nice string here, and then we put that into the user module section where we've got that particular password section. We put the hash value in there, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Yeah, I hope this video has been informative and helpful. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up below. If you find these videos useful, there's a whole series we're going to try and complete for the RHCE, and I've put all the it's going to be set up in a playlist, and you can go and check those out. So slowly but surely I'll be adding all the relevant videos for RHCE, hopefully to cover it all. Yeah, so don't forget to hit subscribe for any more new videos, and hit the bell icon to be notified when I upload my videos. Right now I've just popped up on the screen my TeePublic page. That's for any kind of CSG merch, if that's anything you're interested in. Got my Ko-fi page for any kind donations, if that's something you're interested in. Yep, and also just the details of my Discord server. So that's the best place to ask questions. Also, we've got, obviously, you can ask questions in the comments, and I'll try and help out where I can. But Discord place is a great place. We've got a bit of a community going there, and you can reach out to myself and also the community, and someone will try and help you. Yeah, it's a great community we're building there. Well, thanks again, and I'll see you at the next video. Cheers.